Brave World Champion Austin Riley is with us on the Pepsi Hotline now. Welcome in, Austin, and congratulations.
What's going on, guys? I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So was it last summer that Austin was on, or 2 summers ago?
Two summers ago.
Yeah, and how many home runs did you have at the break? Do you remember at the time?
26.
No.
He's a baseball guy. He knows what he had at the break.
At 19?
Yeah.
At the break, I had, I think, like 15 or 16.
Yep. And you guaranteed us you could get to 26 or 30 or something like that.
I didn't.
You did not, right? And and the listeners did not blame you, Austin. They blamed us. So they have begged us to never have you on again. So now that you've won a world championship, we feel like the curse is dead.
Yeah, we brought you on after the season.
Yeah. You blame us from now on for that, no doubt. Yes.
There you go.
Hey, go back to August, or actually go back to July when, Acuna goes down and your general manager, Alex Anthopoulos, makes these moves. And it wasn't really until the first week of August you guys were above a 500 team. When did you realize how special this team could be?
It was, I'm not going to lie, it was late. Ronald went down, and then, then we acquired those guys. But then, like I said, the NL East, it was still up in the air until, 3 or 4 games to the end of the season. So, you just don't. Like I said, this game's crazy. You just don't ever know. So, it wasn't, it was definitely really late until, I realized, hey, we're going to have a shot. And I knew we never clicked all season. It just seemed like when our pitching was going, we weren't hitting. And when we were hitting, our pitch, vice versa. So I knew it was there. It just, like I said, it kind of got to the wire. I was like, is it going to click this year? And it sure did.
Oh, it did. Absolutely. I'm interested when you have an attitude that it's all starting to click. Like Jock wrote in the Players Tribune that you guys may be those blankety blanks. And people, when they read that, they were like, I think they bought into it, especially Braves Country. They bought into that. We are those guys. And
right.
Can you share with us in the clubhouse how, as professional athletes who play 162 games, that kind of attitude can really flow over onto the field and into at-bats, and you end up doing every little thing to be those guys to win those games?
I think it's just one of those things where, when we all started to kind of click on all cylinders, it was a different guy every night that kind of stepped up at the plate in the bullpen. Those guys started to click. And I think it just kind of, our whole group meshed really well together. We were super light. We gave each other crap. We joked around at all times. And I think that just kind of built that bond because, like I said, we went through so many struggles. So we knew what it was about. We knew when it came to crunch time, I think, going through those struggles early on, it didn't make us panic or anything. We had been in those situations, like, I said, it's kind of built that confidence. And then once we really started to click, it was like nobody's stopping us. And, we had a huge chip on our shoulders. We felt like we could beat anybody as long as we played our game. And just like I said, the vibes, you got Jock, you got Heredia with the sword. Garcia was always screaming. It was a number of things that just kept the mood light and kept us engaged, all the way, throughout.
Atlanta Braves world champion Austin Riley is with us on the Pepsi Hotline. How did it affect that clubhouse and that dugout, because it happened in real time, when Charlie Morton goes back out on a broken leg and strikes out Altuve? The guts not required. That's crazy.
It was. And, I didn't even realize it, and I don't think a lot of us realized that, he ended up going out there on a broken leg until after the game. Because he went, after that inning he got hit, he went under. They did all, they checked everything, and he was fine. He's like, I'm good. I'm going back out. And then I don't think it was till after the game, and they were able to, really dive in to figure out exactly what was happening or had happened. But that was gutsy there. I think that goes to show what kind of player he is, and what he meant, to this team, and what he wanted to to give everything he had, and he did, and you know, I tip my cap to him. I mean, he's a really good dude. You know, outside of baseball in the clubhouse, you know, you couldn't make him up any better.
You mentioned Jock Peterson, and full disclosure, Austin, I am a L.A. Dodgers fan, so I appreciate what he did for that organization.
Oh, God.
I know. Hey, you got
say
revenge.
that every day on the
You got
show.
revenge this year. So I appreciate
you
what
go.
he did for the Dodgers. I hated for him to move on to the Cubs and then ultimately to you guys, but watching Jock over the years, always known Jock is a little different. The Pearls this year, and everybody tried to figure this thing out. Did anybody ever get to the bottom of why Jock Peterson was wearing the pearls?
No, I think it's still up in the. He may himself not even know. I think they just kind of. He's one of those guys. If it, you know, hey, it looks good, I'm gonna wear it, and if it rocks, it rocks. But when he first wore them, I had like a lot of family members reach out and was like, "Hey, what's up on the pearls?" And I was like, "I have no clue. I'm gonna have to find out myself." And you know, I went up to him the next day and asked him. He was like, "I'm just a bad dude." That's the, you know, that's what he gave me. So I don't think there was anything specific on it. He's Jock.
We've all started new jobs or been to a new place or a new school or something over the years. Is it fair to say that this year at some point you really felt like you were in your place, that you belonged? That, I mean, you sound so much more confidence with a world championship under your belt now and everything. But
Who's not?
Do you feel like
Right.
you became this year like I belong? I'm a big part of this team, this franchise.
You know, I did. You know, I certainly did. Just because, like I said, I think what I was searching, and I think every baseball player is searching for is the consistency. That's how you stay in this game, and I think that's what I was able to show, and I think that helped me, build confidence. That I do belong in the big leagues. I could be, an impact player and help a ball club win. I think just, getting the reps, I came up, playing left field. And I think I played 5 games in the minor leagues before I made my debut in left field. So, I was very unfamiliar, and just being, at third this year full time, working with Wash, I was just able to kind of relax and trust my routines and the process that, I've gotten up to this point to, like I said, to be able to put up some consistent at-bats and on a daily basis.
We know you're a big Mississippi State fan. Do you watch every Saturday, and have you had an opportunity to meet Mike Leach?
I have not met Mike Leach. I do try to keep up with it. My brother, or not, my father-in-law, Hap Harrington, is a diehard. So I'll if I see him or talk to him, I'll check in with him and say, hey, what's going on? I've kept up a little bit with it. I feel like our record, we could be a little better just as far as capitalizing on some specific plays or whatnot. But I do keep up. I'm actually going to the Egg Bowl, so I'll be down there whenever that goes on. So.
I would assume they will honor you during a timeout of you at the Egg Bowl, and so it would not shock me because I was there and they honored the national championship baseball team. And I know you never ended up playing there because you got drafted to the pros, but that was going to be your team. And share, if you would, just as a guy who loves Mississippi State and was going to play baseball there, for that organization, much like your Braves, to finally get a world championship, for them to get a college baseball national championship, did that resonate with you too, them winning in Omaha?
No, I think that was huge. To be the first, I'm pretty sure that was the first national championship in school history.
Yes.
So I mean that was a huge accomplishment. And my cousin Cameron James, he played third. He plays third there for him. So to have a cousin third baseman win a College World Series, and then another cousin win the MLB World Series. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I would agree with that.
Mike Leach is checking your family tree for a kicker right now.
Braves third baseman Austin Riley on the Pepsi Hotline. Before you go, we tweeted out earlier that you were going to be on, and my man Everett Wright writes in. He's a 10-year-old. You are his favorite player.
All right.
Austin.
Wow.
And he just wants a piece of advice from you. A guy that wants to play the game the way you play it. What piece of advice would you give young Everett Wright there?
The biggest advice I would give to him is listen to your coaches and your dad. I know at that age, you don't want to listen to them half the time, but they want what's best interest in for you. And, me being so close with my dad, we bonded really well together. But there was days where I was like, all right, Dad, I got it. I know this, and I didn't. And I think if I would have just listened to him a little bit more, I would have been, that much, a step ahead of where I could have been, when I started out. So just listen to your coaches and your dad, and, just work hard and never give up on your dream. Because, anything can happen as long as in my opinion, if you work hard and dedicate your time to it.
Would you advise to continue to play multiple sports, or would you?
Yes. I'm glad you said that. I'm a big believer. I played basketball my ninth grade year. I played football, all throughout high school. Play them all. I think you can. I've learned some of my biggest, lessons, Friday night football games, and that's honestly what I miss the most about high school is those Friday nights. With the boys. I think that I would tell everybody play them all because you never know what could happen.
Yep.
Everett's dad is going to want a copy of this interview, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, but
listen to your dad. That's great advice.
But play every sport. 10 years old is too early to just start focusing on baseball. You can learn a lot, agility, and a lot of other stuff. That's great advice, Austin.
Yeah.
All right, Austin. Hey, congrats not only on overcoming the curse of Dunaway over here, but winning a world championship. It's awesome. Congratulations. Could not happen to a better dude, man. We're very happy for you.
Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on.
You bet, man. Anytime. You just let us know. That is Austin Riley, the Braves world champion third baseman on the Pepsi Hotline.